Hi guys, this is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? Please share, subscribe to my channel, hype it if you like it. Um, if you are so inclined to do so, cool. Just keeps falling. If you would like to check out my website, alleycatcreations211.com is where you could see all my artwork. I did the fire horse and pyramids and all kinds of great stuff. Go check it out. And if you're interested in anything, please email me. I do everything privately. If you get a connected dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, concepts to expand on, please look at the links section. I have a lot of awesome things there. And that's not just me. There's other people there and other things that you can explore. So go check it out. I have channel memberships. It's a really great way to contribute to my channel. It's a wonderful way to be a part of a really loving and holistic and organic place of just a hub of all of us beautiful light workers and angels. There, you're going to get special emojis. You get a baddie emoji, a little Thor, Freya, all kinds of cool stuff. You also down the line, when am able to go back and doing raffles, I held raffles. You guys can get prints, pyramids, skulls, candles, all kinds of stuff I give away. But right now, financially unable to do it. But guess what? That's okay. But 3D gets one free entry, 4D gets two entries, and 3D and 4D get hour plus long Oracle readings every weekend. That's a lot. I charge $40 for an hour. So think about that if you like Oracle readings and you want something honed in on for just a small few. 4D gets to work with me. And after this weather insanity going on, I will be making efforts, a more of a bigger effort to getting a channel only member Zoom happening. Things have just been bananas in life. But we're going to talk about it because I haven't done this in a long time, and we're going to go into hermitum, the hermit's journey. It didn't end. It's not going to end. It just waxes and wanes in the energy. And it's what I want to talk about tonight briefly. We'll see how long I can go. Sorry for the camera. I'm starting to get under the weather as well. Gotta love kiddos. I'm also starting to feel the negative degrees happening in the atmosphere. I have work tomorrow too, by the way, -30. We'll see if my car starts. So, with the planetary alignments, the Schumann resonance starting to see a lot of changes in how we are reading the charts with a lot of people, whether they're consciously aware of it or not, are starting to change the way they are reacting to the out exterior world of chaos, how they're reacting to the inner world of how the outer world is trying to project fear, decoherence of like people, places, and things. And unbeknownst to a lot of us, I wasn't foreseeing this. A lot of us was forced back into hermitum. A lot of us. A lot of spiritual people have been swept into a very hard dichotomy of you're going to just about lose everything. People you love, people that you thought were your friends, people who you work with, people transcending that. There was a lot of that. We're seeing that still. Um, we're seeing a lot of change. And a lot of that change has been forced by the universe, but it's been forced by our higher selves. Why would your higher self strip everything away like raw? It's like ODB. I don't like it, ODB. Wu-Tang Clan, ODB. As I've read Manly P. Hall and Nisha's works describing the journey of somebody who's doing self-discovery, looking out into the world and just being objective about it, not really taking an emotional standpoint, really taking back the big picture is really what a hermit's journey starts looking like. Things get stripped away from you, and then you find you're trying to sort out like why? What was the purpose of this? What was happening? And as you keep doing the why questions and you're digging deeper into the whys and you're detaching your emotional states to the traumatic things that some of us had to go through. I mean, everything that I've been through in the last 6 months has been like soul crushing. Tobacco, soul crushing. Because I vowed when I moved, I was going to have a new life. I vowed that I had boundaries, but they were not really implemented, by the way. We get into these modalities of thinking and we loop, unaware, we loop. We do a lot of things. And then the universe comes in and says, ha, 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 back to being by yourself again. And then there's more healing. And this is a forever process. A lot of us go through this process of falling on our asses, people walking away, people getting angry, people listening to other people's opinions and not really going within. Um, this is something I'm also noticing in the collective consciousness, and I'm not so keen on, and I'm not 100% fan of people that do this. People yearn for attention. People yearn for connection. What ends up happening is because it's coming from an unhealed place, people latch on and want your attention. And they don't know how to go and be comfortable with themselves. They don't know how to answer their own questions. And it's okay to seek out advice. I think the most frustrating thing for myself is that I've had to figure out just about a lot of things on my own. Not having my parents to like have advice, like sound advice, financial advice, or things that are not my wheelhouse. I haven't had sound advice from people. I had to figure it out for myself. And I had to go through a lot of difficulties and getting scammed and getting taken advantage of and all lessons that we need to walk through and learn. There are people though, like right now who are it's hitting in a very difficult place where they're still giving their power away to other people's opinions and perceptions and not going within. I'm still feeling it in the collective. It's not a judgment. It's not a putting place it here on the shelf. It is what I'm feeling, and I'm honest about it. This hermitim, like 5 years, 6 years ago now, that we were all as a humanity put on pause, right? And that was really the journey for humanity. the hermitum of humanity was really reflecting within and going, what the F, no matter what side of the coin you are on, going, there is literally something wrong with the world. Whether you agreed with it or not, you knew something was not okay. And a bunch of us who did more digging deeper, we found a lot of truth. But was that really a truth? Or was it just a frequency of a ping from the universe saying, oh, you might be in the right direction. Look further. Or maybe you need to go within and clear some of your trauma out now that you have a lot of time on your hands, or maybe not. A lot of us had a upgrade between 2015 to 2017, in my estimation. I was one of them. I was one of those people that got upgraded. I woke up one day, my responses started to change. My reactions to things started to change. My attitude had changed. Was it the full entire program and narratives being steered? No. Still programs, still having deeper niche constructs running in my program. I made the move, got out of New York, came here, and then the explosion happened in my mind. The clearer energy, not being bogged down by so much frequency in terms of the waves, just too much is in New York, city at least, not upstate. And I had a lot of clarity hit me in the last 3 years that I've been here. It hasn't been an easy road. And I really thought things were looking forward for me until the last 6 months. But for the last 6 months, for many of us, we've had immense changes, whether it doesn't need to be external, it can be internal. I remember weeks leading up to losing a lot of people in my life that I thought had my back, that I thought had my side and were at my side and knew my integrity. I was starting to get pings from the universe that that wasn't the case. And it felt disjointed energy. And I didn't know where to place it or put it because I didn't know how to apply what I was feeling. That's the tricky thing about your intuition. Everybody's like, go into your intuition, but sometimes not everything applies to where your brain thinks it is. And I wasn't associating what pings I was getting, the things that were starting to not look or feel right, but they couldn't place it where. I didn't have a name for it. And even at that time, I still at that time picking up from the collective consciousness that people were latching on to others and demanding time and demanding space and really and it's not coming from people that are mean and horrible. It's coming from very loving, very beautiful souls. The yearning, the pulling of magnetism, like I was very apparent back then, and it's still lingering and it's still in the field right now. I'm just putting this out there as a postulate. I don't know what that is, but it's just insecurities at this point from where I'm picking up on. I don't know if anybody else is picking up on this from other people that you're noticing that like people are trying to grab attention and it's not in a particular area. It's just a need. And I don't know how to solve that need. I don't know how to direct that need. I don't know how. And then people have a hissy fit like a 2-year-old and they vanish. People feel butthurt if you're not responding or you're not giving the attention that they need. I've been seeing the hissy fits. I've been feeling it in the energy as well, which I've been putting my barriers up because, hey, I have to live my life and my life is very complicated right now. So, and people are going to wax and wane out of your life. But as a hermit, looking at the past few years and looking at the energy that we're moving in and seeing all the things happening in your life, the changes that you are implementing, but some of those things were forced from your higher self that you're not aware of. I wasn't aware the universe was like, no, this is going to be brutal and this is going to end brutal. And this is because we need to make sure this is the mark of stamp. Don't go back. Now, that's not to say that if someone's going to elevate and raise their frequency and come back healed, come back to the bandwidth of where I'm at and do the course correction that needs to happen, that I won't accept them. I'm just not going back to that frequency that was once shared. And that will also put you in a hermitum because you're raising your frequency. You're decohered, meaning all those people fell away from you for a reason. Not because, I mean, you could put an allotment of how many projections people have spewed in your name. It doesn't matter. Why do you bother with that? Some people do. I had a beautiful conversation with a light worker who is like starting to come out of their shell, and it's a beautiful process to do so. But a lot of the hesitancy and fear from people is that you're so guarded because you don't want the past to repeat itself. You don't want to bring in the same people. That's a lot of the karmic looping that I think a lot of us have had. We didn't loop to be back here, not necessarily to learn. We all learn lessons and have experiences. The soul has those ultimate goals that you have to hit in order to rise up in consciousness. It gets very lonely up here. It's a burden more than it is acceptance of like, oh, well, great, I'm special. No, everybody's special in their own way. It gets lonely up here. A lot of us have felt in the last, you know, span of time when we have these withdrawals from society and going into, it's not to say that you're not going to work and you're not intermingling with people, but you feel very isolated in your energy. You feel that no one gets you. You feel that no matter how hard you try to be your authentic self, like very few people are seeing it, or you're just not getting where you want to be in life because the world is on one frequency and you live in a completely other. Hermit Tim will do that to you. It's raw. It's ugly. Very ugly. And I know I'm probably going to jump around a million times and I might not make any kind of coherent sense, but I'm just shooting from the hip and I am channeling my thoughts from upstairs. So don't mind me. So something might resonate with you or may not, or translate with you and hit you hard, and I then move on to jumping around. I don't mean to do that. We have taken a place in this world for a reason. We came here for a reason. We all volunteered for the most part. Most of us have volunteered to be here for a specific major mission. And the overall big picture mission that all of us, even if they're not awake to it, we have come to shift humanity. Many of us are the bridges for the shift. We're the ones that are going to translate the information, the walked experience that all of us have had to go through to get to where we are. A lot of people are not there yet in their energy field, in their thought expression. They're still battling 3D battles where some of us are already on higher density levels of expression in our other multi-dimensional selves battling, and not to say war, but we're in a higher capacity of understanding how reality is working, and that's going to look different for everybody because we all perceive it differently. Also, we're in these little freaking bodies. As much as I can get channeled and know, I'm humbled to know that I don't want to know it all. It's too complicated for my brain. I would explode. To know every intricacy, to know every atom and subatomic particle that works in harmonious union with each other, and from every other entanglement that I have in this world that has a higher fractal of a percentage that you can't even compute on a computer, that instantaneously I know where my light body is right now. That's nuts, right? That's very in-depth thinking. We don't want to go there just yet. When you are in hermit isolation, reflection, working on yourself, working on your subconscious, working on your nervous system, recapitulating how you are reacting to the outside world, we're always going to fall back to the old echo of that past timeline that we jump to. It could be, for me, it's people trying to troll me or put stuff up deliberately to see if they're going to get a bite from me. I'm not feeding your ego, sorry. There's going to be echoes of the past that try to draw you back in. Now, the past can come back, but if they're not healed and up on their higher frequency of experience, you're going to know the difference in vibration. That's where your intuition really comes in. You have to feel what's coming to you and go, how would my higher self respond? That's difficult because that's a waiting game on its own end. Although you are entangled to your higher self, like super high percentage of you is instantaneously expressing, higher self is expressing through you. Sometimes it's not going to give you the answers right away because it needs you to use your other senses, your other intuitive abilities, your sense of, okay, I made these changes. I need proof to make sure that it's not on repeat. And there is the anxiety and the separation once again. It's a loop and it gets more complicated as you rise up. It doesn't get any easier. It just looks differently. It's wrapped in a different package. The work, regardless of where your starting point is not going to be a fun ride unless you determine that you're going to make it one. I know a lot of people that go into hermit land because of depression, because of, I don't know how to function in this world. It's overwhelming for me. Whether it be mental illness, whether it be a spiritual journey, whether it be finding self, remastering, recalibrating your frequency, the hermit's journey is one that all of us, no matter how aware or in awake or not you are, happens. It's for us to take advantage of, those of us who are in the awareness, to take advantage of the time that we have by ourselves to really dig in deep, to restructure our brain. Rewiring your brain takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. The work that I've been doing on my nervous system, literally the past 2 months, 6 months, I've been doing the subconscious. I'm still sometimes catching myself on autopilot, responding in the old way, or not coming at my definitions with cleaner clarity of delivery. Itchy eyeball. If you look at yourself, ask yourself a few questions. In the last year, let's look at the last year. 6 months to a year. How have you changed? How has your frequency changed? How are people responding to you? The people that are left. How many people around you are still very unhealed? How many people are starting to notice that they're not worrying as much about things that really should scare them and worry them? That they're just breathing through it and just taking things in stride, that it's just a movement in time, things pass. How many people are questioning now more and more of the things that a lot of us questioned 10 years ago, even longer? And it's not to spiritually or politically spew truths on people. It's just to open up the eyes to the deception, to the inversion that we needed to learn from to overcome it. We had to walk through it. And in order to walk through it, we had to experience it and we had to feel it because we need to have that walked, lived experience so that doesn't happen again. Now that we went through the uncomfortable phase and we're still going through that phase, the dawn of the new life, the new era, the new shift is incoming. And this is the time to prepare your system for it. We've always been having to prepare, but we're now really preparing from a different vantage point. We're preparing from a higher density level of experience. Where in the last 10 years, we were recapitulating and getting those upgrades from the Schumann. They're dropping, and we're all like, I'm either really tired or very drained. Really drained or really energetic and flying high on a kite. We're seeing more people doing plant medicine. We're seeing people doing more self-work, which is great. We're seeing more people out there trying to scam you and scheme you. The discernment can't be any more than you need to put it into practice more often and all the time. An authentic person is going to tell you from their level of frequency, and you're going to feel it. Most people are starting to have their abilities heightened, their energy fields heighten and expand. You will know if someone's coming from their heart, and you will know if someone's bullshitting you. And there are very deceptive people out there. There's people that manipulate. It's a part of the dichotomy of God, because God's everything. God plays his role, his or her role through each and every one of us. We're all a unique expression of it. And each of us have different experiences, so it can know itself more. What's changed the game is that we have accelerated our consciousness to understand a bigger picture. And now that the bigger picture is starting to be, developed, let's just say we took a Polaroid shot and here it comes. We're getting a bigger picture and we're getting it solidified. This time by yourself is really a chance to refine your responses, to recalibrate your nervous system, to recalibrate your subconscious. It's to really take the breath The storm is here. It's been here. It's been here a long time. The metaphorical one. You are the storm. You're the eye of the hurricane. You're the vortex of the tornado. You are the squall of the snow. You are the flood. You're the storm. You also are the lighthouse. You are also that beacon of light. You are destruction and beauty all in one. You are that rainbow after a storm. You're the sunlight. You're it all. When we can take words, codes, and put them in an allegory, which I don't think anybody really thought about doing with a specific 17th letter of the alphabet, and really started to metaphorically put into thought the metaphors, the analogies. What does a storm really mean? It's purification. The things that are no longer serving you, and this is in the astrology as well, they're going to decohere out of your field because your field has expanded to bigger and better and newer and bigger. It's not an easy thing to go through. It's not God punishing you. It's not you punishing yourself and being in a karmic loop. And that's something that a lot of us, including myself, has to get over, that I had contracted these difficulties into my life to know that I'm strong enough to overcome it and the adversity that is yet to come. It's to be compassionate with myself, but also for others. It's hard. It's the same analogy when you say, you got to love yourself before you can love someone else. Why do you think so many marriages and so many unions don't last? Because the one or two of the people don't love themselves fully, unconditionally, compassionately. In order to get into a higher state of density, eventually you have to have the love as a frequency of its expandedness, screaming like God's voice. How can you love yourself if you have so much hatred and veil and vile for others? Sure, you can have anger and you can be, like tell the kids all the time, you can be angry. It's how you deal with that anger and it's how you de-escalate yourself out of that anger that's going to make a difference in your life. Are you going to give yourself a heart attack and work yourself in your nervous system up in upheaval because you're so adamant about something, you're so passionate about something? You are literally going to kill yourself being that inanimate over something that is not putting food on your table and not paying your bills. Sure, the economy affects us, the politics affect us. No one's saying that it doesn't. But you're feeding your energy into a system that is not, it's going to continue to perpetuate instead of just dissolve out of your field. Stop feeding things that are not for your benefit. Easier said than done. You still have to play a third dimensional game, and the game sucks. But you have to navigate your nervous system and you have to learn and do it for yourself. No one can do it for you. I can't wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning and put your hand on your heart and repeat words. You have to do it. Oh, I don't got time. Well, you got time in the shower. You got time brushing your teeth. Somewhere in your day before you close your eyes for sleep, you have 5 minutes somewhere in your day, whether you're driving, whether you are going to the bathroom, whatever it is. People make so many excuses. I used to do the same. I'm not infallible. I'm not perfect. You think I am? Hell no. Far from that. But I know when I take these times to really inflect, to really go inside myself, to look at what isn't working in my life and how can I change it. And then the bigger questions start coming in. Well, what is my divine mission? What is my purpose here? Am I in it? Am I not in it? And then, you know, the loop of the self-doubt starts happening. That's where this hermitum, I'm really stopping the doubt from even entering my field. The universe in the field presents me with challenges and obstacles. And in these moments of where I should be going crazy and freaking out and balling up in the middle of the room in a fetal position, I'm not doing that. And it's okay that if you're in that place, you do it. It's a good purge. Allow yourself the time that you need to be your best self. Allow the time. If you have to withdraw from people, places, and things to get you back to best, that's the best time worth it. And if other people don't understand, they're not in the awareness of understanding the journey that you're on. It's a unique one. It's the only one that you're living. I can't live it for you. I can't live it for you. I have to live it for myself, but I can expand and expound on my journey, my wisdom, my experiences, in hopes that other people find similarities in the things that I say, the experiences that I talk about, and grow the motivation within themselves to do the work. It's a beautiful process if you allow it to happen. I want to read something to you. The karmic cycle breaks, and suddenly a quiet moment arrives, and everything within you knows it's time. Some truths don't arrive through logic or explanation, they move through the body first, felt gently before the mind can name them. Life has a way of closing doors and redirecting paths, not to confuse you, but to reveal the truth of where you are meant to go next. When a cycle breaks, you are asked to accept what is being shown, not only by circumstance, but by the steady knowing rising from within. Sometimes the cycle ends on its own, and other times it ends because you finally chose to step out of it consciously. When you release what no longer belongs to who you've become, something decisive and profound shifts. New connections and directions begin to form naturally, without force or chasing, because you are no longer shrinking, proving, or searching, but standing rooted in yourself. You begin listening directly to your intuition, to your heart, to the quiet pull guiding you forward. And the listening becomes the initiation of a new cycle. The right connection doesn't ask you to abandon who you are. It recognizes you because you no longer abandon yourself. And in time, you see that everything ending, every loss, every shift was not a mistake, but a return, guiding you home to clarity, self-respect, and a future shaped by conscious choice, alignment, and trust in the direction your soul is now leading. Truth. Your higher self, your soul, your oversoul, already knows the outcome because you lived it. You have it out there self in the multiverse has who already has accomplished everything on the timeline that you're merging with, because the merger is just you on the higher form that already has done it. And now you're going to meet it and actually walk through and go through the experiences that higher self did already. But it knows that and is navigating you through it. That self you pulled in the superposition, the menu of self that you chose this to experience, that you chose, you get to the 0 point and it starts manifesting from the point of where you are at now, that self already lived in that moment, and it merges and then shit shifts. Your soul knew that certain people, as much as your mind will tell you, well, they really were good people and this, that, and the other thing was great, but your soul knew it wasn't. Your soul knew that you were faking it or you're masking yourself, that you were doing it and people were taking advantage of you or stealing your energy like an energy vampire, or just not in alignment with you anymore. That's family, that's friends, that's whatever it comes into your intuition to feel. Your higher self knew, and then the universe orchestrated the decoherence from that timeline. It started and it does it in shifts or it does it all at once. Some people can handle that all at once. Me, it happened in a 6 month period of time. Because for many of us, the time is now. Our soul knows that a lot of us were done with the old paradigm. We are done listening. We're done being fed a carrot on a stick. It's time to start bringing in better for the world. Because most of us are selfless people who want the best for everybody. But in order for that to happen, we need the best for ourselves. And it's not coming from a selfish place. It's coming from a place of once I know how to do it for myself and how to actually get abundance, I am abundant. I am knowing from the spot I already have it, not from a falsity, not from the lack paradigm. I am abundant. I am prosperous. I am peace. Owning it, honing in it, embodying it, and walking it into this world and imparting it. You just planted the seed. Now the seed takes time. With a lot of the planetary shifts happening, with a lot of energy shifting, a lot of us are feeling this. This hermit journey, this pause, is to really rest, pull back, come into your heart. Of course, live your everyday life, but it's taking us to hold and call a pause for self, to self-reflect, to know what is right. And there you go. If you're working your 9 to 5 and you're around the same people all the time and you're not doing the work on yourself to change, to shift, to pivot. And it can be in little minor ways. It doesn't need to be these big major things. You're going to feel drawn to do things regardless of who and what, where, when is in your life. Sometimes the universe forces you, like it does me all the time. It does. The universe have almost killed me at least 3 to 4 times at this point, like close calls. I'm stubborn. My soul's stubborn. But we're in this becoming your authentic self, knowing you are worthy, knowing your value. That's one of the biggest soul contracted tests that I've asked some of my former people that I was in relationships romantically with. That was one of the biggest contracts that I asked for them to impart that lesson onto me, is to be that much of an asshole, that much of a jerk, not really putting 100% in and only giving me 25%, um, and not being transparent and a lot of other things. And I'm not talking about one person, I'm talking about all of them. And I asked them because at some point I needed to know that I have to stand in my own truth. I have to value myself more. I have to be worthy in the outward expression. I am worthy and I deserve, like everybody should deserve the best. And sometimes we haven't had the best. We don't know what that looks like. So then you're going to go through all these experiences and all these heartbreaks and all these shattering life moments that really show you, well, no, honey, you are worth a lot more than what you were getting from that person. That person wasn't giving you their 100%. They're only giving you half. They were only showing up because they wanted something out of you, not because of they purely love you and that their frequency was honest and authentic. And it's not to get angry with them because you signed up for that role. You asked them to be a certain way. And that's how I think a lot of our relationships in life could start healing and start unifying a bit better by understanding people are only in the frequency of where they're at. And if you're in a different bandwidth of frequency, you're going to see a different picture in the fold. You're going to see a higher perspective. You're going to see an angle that no one else is seeing, for they knew not. They don't, most people don't even go off the contracts. They don't understand what a soul contract is. They don't understand that what you were doing back to them was trying to teach them a lesson, and that's what you asked for and you're delivering it, and that makes you the devil in someone's story. It's not, because you asked, you played a role that needed to be played and you signed up for that role. If you were to look at, it's really funny, like let's just take the Game of Thrones, if you're a Game of Thrones fan like I am, and Ramsay, from a horrible character like Joffrey and Ramsay, like two of the worst characters, like you fucking hate them. Do you really think they're like that in real life? But people treated them like shit in real life. Like they would like horrible. You got to disassociate the character playing a role from the self that is actualizing, coming to the 0 point and shifting. Like if any one of my exes were to ever come back, I'm not going to be the same way I was with them because I learned my lesson. Now shift. Oh, you're different. Yeah, because now you're getting the real me. You weren't not necessarily getting the real me. You were getting the contract that you asked for me to play for you. Now I don't have to play a role because contract is null and void. It's done. We learned the lesson. Now we can move on. And not that I would. But that's with anybody in your life. That's with a family member. That's with anybody in your life. But you got to take that step back. And the only way to do it is when they're not around you or you're not around the people sucking your energy dry or making you feel a certain way that's not positive. When you're in your own space, you have a lot of time to reflect and take the step back and ask, okay, so if I asked somebody to be an asshole to me and really break my heart, what was the reason for it? I'm not attached emotionally to that person to ask that question, that I have a bias now of receiving an answer from the higher self that only my ego wants to hear. No, I need to know that I was a soul-sucking, shattering asshole. I can't fix what I don't know. And I got to be objective with the information that I do receive because I can admit I was an asshole. I was a person I didn't want to be, but that person's asked me to be that sort of person to them to learn. Does that make sense? I hope it does. In the woo-woo astrology, we have 5 planets in Aquarius. We are in Aquarius season. Superstellium portal. Tomorrow, Mars enters Aquarius to trigger a highly charged superstellium with the Sun, Pluto, Venus, and Mercury. The rare gathering of 5 celestial bodies creates an intense spiritual reset that requires you to release every expired version of your identity. The universe is stripping away false pretenses to reveal the indestructible power of your unique, authentic, and empowered self. Pluto and the Sun are currently working in deep alignment to expose the core truths of your existence while removing all residue from the past. Mars bringing the courage, passion, and drive to take action on this realization without hesitation. Venus is revaluing your heart to ensure your connections are based on genuine alignment and pure self-love. Guys, I don't make up the energy. I just tell you about it. Mercury is downloading innovative ideas that allow you to solve long-standing problems with absolute accuracy and certainty. You may feel an electric vibration within your mind that signals the completion of old, outdated ways of living. You are now in a prophetic portal where your future is being rewritten for the next 20 years. And many moons ago, I have said, you're getting rid of the old self, and the higher self is going to start coming in and merging with your ego. It's a painful process. But the energy, whether you believe in the astrology or not, whether you believe in the energy or not, you're feeling it. You're seeing shifts happen within you. Things are collapsing. People are still in the and upstairs is answering the question that I postulated earlier about like the collective consciousness and those people like needing and grabbing energetically in an unhealthy manner, like you're trying to get attention and trying to grab because they don't know where to go, the fear, the projections and again listening to other people instead of themselves. A lot of that is because they're not ready to change when the energy is making them change. And change is very uncomfortable for people that's been stuck in the loop. Change is not an easy thing when you're not seeing where the trauma is hiding, where you're not going within and really being objective with yourself. And not to say be gentle with self, but also Be a parent to yourself and put yourself back in check. Listen, forgive yourself for you knew not and you only reacted from the place that you were at. Take responsibility, right? Yeah, I was an asshole. Okay, I just took accountability. How can I do better? How can I garner that reaction in my brain to not speak or spew? It takes time, and you're going to also get tested from the universe with echoes of the dead past obsolete timeline. It's going to draw you back. It's going to try to grip you in its little claws and tentacles and try to pull you back into what is comfortable. And even if the situation is suffering and pain and what is comfortable, more people thrive in that energy. I know I get super creative in the depressive state, but is that my best self? No, no. I can still get to the, and everybody will still get to those places, even if you have everything. Your body does what it does for reasons. You are just playing out a role that you wrote for yourself. You just don't know it's in real time and the script is a teleprompter and you're just moving through the actions. We're having things collapse out of our lives for reasons. And sometimes you don't see what those reasons are. But when you're in a hermit zone, when you're in isolation to an extent, when everything collapses around you, you don't know what to even do, what the first step is. And you just take that, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this self. We're going to get through it. We're going to strive. The work starts unfolding naturally for some, and some others, you have to ask your questions. However, you're going to work through it. Understand. All serves a purpose. All questions eventually will get answered. And some of those deeper, darker ones might not get answered in this lifetime. It might have to wait. But at least knowing that you are striving each and every day to do better and to show up for yourself is a start. And that's all that's required right now. The energies are starting to pick up in really establishing what is your authentic self, and only you're going to know what that is. And it's okay to shift your opinion. It's okay to shift your dynamic, your paradigm, the paradox that's happening within you. It's okay. It's okay to reinvent yourself. It's okay to make changes. You have to want to implement it and be comfortable with it. Everybody else. Why are you worried about the opinions of others? Unless it's constructive criticism that you know deep down that will help you, can help you. Again, advice is just advice. Take it and use it or not. That's your free will choice. Either that's the slow way or the fast way. Which track are you taking? There's no wrong track. There is no wrong. Which track are you taking? Ask yourself. This hermit's journey is not anywhere near over. And for many of you that are in it right now, I'm sure you're having very similar feelings, seeing things falling away from you, not having a sense of what direction you're going to land in. I'm sure not knowing. All I have been putting out there is I'm arriving at the reality of financial sovereignty. Don't know what that looks like, not expecting what it looks like. I am observing the reality of my YouTube channel hitting 100K subscribers. That's a goal. I know I can obtain, I can't object it because with progression and time, it can only go up unless YouTube takes me off, right? I'm observing the reality that my artwork is selling, making 600K, six figures, millions, six figures. I'm okay with that. And that's a comfortable, I can obtain that. That's not something my ego can doubt. Small steps. If you want to observe the reality and collapse in superposition your higher self and the version of you that has the things that you desire, there's a million versions of you in every from up all the way down. What are you observing? What are you feeling? What are you tuning into? What is your broadcasting, your radio station broadcasting? Is it static? Is it a clear, precise, audible, everybody's jamming out to it tune, or is it and you need the bunny ears and the tinfoil? It takes a while to get that antenna to hit clarity, that everything is super clear. Ah, it takes time. You got to be gentle with yourself. This is where the frustration in myself, and not because I'm not being patient, it's I keep getting the obstacles and the challenges and the spew, but I don't expect when or how or what opportunity will land in my lap. I just have faith in the universe, in my higher self, that I'm navigating myself in feeling that energy in my direction. And that's all I can hope for. And for many of you that are on the journey, please don't give up and please keep feeding the field and feeding peace, prosperity, abundance, harmonious love, harmony amongst everybody into the field. We're still playing out a contract that we all came here for humanity for. It's closing up. It's like on the last couple of scenes in the movie that's going to take 3 more hours to finish out. It's like Lord of the Rings. It's like, when is this movie gonna end? Oh my God, I have to pee. Right? It's that moment where you're like in the movie theater and you're like, this is so good and I can't get up to go pee, but I have to go bathroom. Ah, right? It's that anticipation, like, when is it gonna end? When is it gonna end? When is it gonna end? Because I have to pee. It's uncomfortable. Right? That's the stage that we're like literally at. We're in the middle of the void. We see sort of like the light starting to come into purview, and it's like, Laurier, come to the light. Carol Ann, just go toward the light. And you're like, well, where? Right? We're there. We're starting to see the little pinholes, and we're navigating ourselves to it. But we're the void and the light at the same time. It's the Matrix spoon scene. That's hard to grasp. We're all of it in one. And when you can take ownership of that and really instill that energy in your system and clear out that old processing system, that old AOL dial-up out of you, and you plug into God code, you'll start seeing little pings. I'm seeing little pings here and there in my world that tells me just keep going. Don't give up. And no, you're not alone. There are more people coming on and tuning in every day. And it's about just being the still pillar for these people, for yourself, and for everybody around you, because we're all going through very similar experiences. It's very uncomfortable, and we have to stick together in this. So please do what you need. Uh, if you need to reference back to my other hermit journey where I did some reading, they're very uplifting stories and they're very interesting to see when you're in that isolation and you gain all this wisdom, you're doing all this research, you're doing your, you're reading and you're doing your questioning and you're meditating and you're doing you. And then you go back into society and impart your stuff. It's not going to land with everybody, but you have to know that there are people out there it will land with. And that the people that are still stuck or they're just about ready to change and that they're trying to like squeeze you at every moment and needing that kind of attention, it's not to ignore it, but it's also like you have to protect your energy as well. I love a lot of people. I do a lot of things for people, and it's not because I am at my limit on in my now life, in the now moment. I'm exhausted because I'm not really resting. I work a whole day with some insane energy. I come home to decompress, and my eating like a snack is decompressing. And then I'm drawing, I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff. I'm researching, and then I go to sleep and I play with Freya. It's exhausting. And it needs to change. I want to be vibrant and happy. Right now, I want to go to bed. And I will in a few. I'm going to leave it here, guys. We're going to do more of the Hermit's journey. Just me just shooting from the hip and talking. I am looking for other reference books to kind of go through the journey, but from more of a place of the energy that we're in now. And the energy that we're in now is a very high voltage, dynamic energy that it's not the easiest thing to navigate through. More codes this morning and calm now. So we're integrating a lot of energy. The frequencies are at 7.71 at the time of this video. I mean, it's not crazy, but it is. My closing statement here is that I don't know about what's going to happen tomorrow. I do have work. I have to go in. Um, I could take a day, but I'd rather save it for another snow event. I don't know how many we're going to have this year or if something happens. Like, I don't have kids tomorrow. I have a lot of work to get done. So it'll be great by having the time to do it. Because of how severe the cold is going to be tomorrow, I'm just hoping my house has power and then I can go live. I tend to go live tomorrow. Make sure you ring the ding, 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 the bell icon. For those of you who are just finding me, just make sure you're subscribed because you'll get a notification that I'm live, or you'll see it on somewhere when you pop up your YouTube, you'll see the little red thing on the side. You'll see my name and you'll see that I'm live. We're gonna hit more of this tomorrow. if all things aside from weather and everything else, I'm really praying for everybody affected. Wherever you are, the storm is here. It's for a reason. And I know -35 is not a paradise to be, and it's FAFO. So I'm putting towels in a lot of my windows that have a little bit of a draft. I'm trying to do as best as I can to keep the house warm without sucking and having like a $5 million heating bill. But until the next time, guys, sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within, be the shoulders, be the lighthouse, seize your truths, because you are all of those things. Light that path forward. Please check out my shorts every morning and vote for Freya. I think she made it to top 10, or I don't know where we are at. She's getting there, guys, and it wouldn't be because it is because of you guys. So thank you. I really appreciate all the help that you guys are ensuing on that. Keep pushing. It's not just a one-day event, it's for weeks. So let's get her to number one. Breathe. And we're in this together. You're not alone. Till the next time, guys, please have a blessed and beautiful day and night wherever you are. If you're in the storm, please keep warm, have plans, be prepared. And until the next time, bye for now.